Hi, Roman Lewczuk here on how to build a house. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to talk about today is safety when you're building the house. Okay, it's really important that you keep the house safe for yourself and your trades that are working here. And what I mean by that is you have to follow the Ministry of Labor's guidelines and what they've set up as minimum requirements to keep things safe on the building site. So even if you're building yourself, or if you're a professional builder like myself, everybody has to follow their minimum requirements or their guidelines. Okay, so I'll just point out a few features that you're going to have to do or keep in mind as you're building the house. Okay, for instance, very important for fall protection. You don't want people tripping and falling down and getting themselves hurt. So make sure that your openings before your windows are in, you have proper guardrails so people don't fall. Now, the higher up you are, the more protection you need on the guardrail. Here we're only 16 inches, so we've just got this rail right here. Okay, and also when you're building, you're always going to need stairs. So try and get yourself either put the stairs in, which a lot of cases you don't really want to do before the house is at a certain level, but you need to at least put temporary stairs in and temporary rails, or you need to block this off or use proper ladders to get up and down. So that's very important. So you're going to have to get that organized and get that in your build. All right. Also, for instance, you need an emergency plan just in case somebody gets hurt. We've got one posted right here. It's basically gives you a brief description on what to do in case there's an emergency and where the nearest hospital is. And when also you're building, the Ministry of Labor here where we're building, we require what's called a notice of project. So basically you have to fill that in. You can do it online and submit that before you start building. And there's also online, or it's called the Green Book, where the ministry has their minimum requirements that all contractors and builders are supposed to follow. So keep all that in mind and have a safe build, because that's the most important thing when you're building the house. Make sure nobody gets hurt and nobody gets injured. And here's another requirement: you need a fire extinguisher on site. And as I say, there's a lot of requirements, but the basic ones are you want to make sure that everybody doesn't fall down or there's any chance of them tripping on anything. Keep the site clean all the time so there's no trip hazards. Temporary stairs. As I say, I've just mentioned a bare minimum of some of the requirements they're going to need. You're going to have to go over their policies and just make sure everybody's covered, and make sure that if you're working that they have, if you have your subcontractors here, that they're all insured and have WSIB insurance. That's very important as well. Okay, great. See you at the next stage.